a number of persons express their their tiredness of having people walk back and forward looking at different things. They taking assessments, talking, and nothing that is being done. The promise actually of repairs even started before this our minister, that is actually Minister of Education, came in. We even learned that there is monies that have been paid to a company to provide roller system for doors and windows at different schools. The monies have been paid, and people are wondering, how would you place roller systems in front of windows and doors where you have the roofs that are damaged? These roofs are structurally damaged at all public schools, as I can mention. The Dr. Martin Luther King School, you have the Lena Connor School, you have the Ruby LaBega School, you have the Marie Genevieve the Weaver School. The material that these schools were built from is a different type of material than we know locally. And this roof material is not readily available. Yes, we can understand that. But it is now going into 3 years, and the teachers are really not willing to understand anymore why, even though some of them got promises, the timelines when things would have started, up to date, nothing has been done. So equally, as we are talking about the repairs of homes, we have to take a good look at the repairs of what we would call the different facilities, and in addition, even worse, the repairs of schools, public schools that fall under the government. Now, as a union, nobody should try to sell to me that we need a school board in public schools to be able to get this accomplished. I am one of the opponents of that thinking. At a given moment, a school board on all levels, global level, regional level, and international level, it is already put forward in all educational platforms for unions, trade unions, to say no to the privatization of public schools. So in St. Martin, I am not going to make that mistake to even entertain the thought that we need a school board. What we need, and I spoke to the minister and I said, what we need is a foundation for the maintenance of public schools. Because if you need a plumber, let's say something go bad on a toilet, it is a whole process. You know what was so heartbreaking yesterday? To find out that in the public schools, not even only the bread from the bakery, clear like that, is provided for the school feeding. So the less fortunate and needy children that when they used to come to school could get bread with peanut butter or bread with cheese or bread with ham. In the days that I was in management of a public school, at that time St. Peter's Public School, that is now Ruby LaBega, I would never accept this. That children coming to school that did not have in the morning a breakfast, that the school area that have to prepare that breakfast, that the only thing that they can offer is dry bread to the children. This is a whole something that, of course, we have to do better for our children, the children of the poor and needy. Directly after the hurricane, we could have appreciated the Red Cross and other institutions providing breakfast and even hot meals for our children. After a year, that came to a halt. That program came to a halt. But it does not mean that we don't have need for that. And this is just a bloody shame. So right now, we are looking into the way forward. I'm waiting the ministers coming back. I know that yesterday there was a meeting directly after school. Coincidentally, the head of, or the acting head, interim head of the Department of Education, of Public Education, Ms. Marcelia Henry, would keep a meeting with the teachers. I'm still awaiting the outcome of that meeting. I know, again, promises would be made, but the teachers are fed up of promises. They need to see something happening. They are they have been given their contribution. They're all in all, despite the circumstances. But how long can we keep our students and our teachers up in that environment, in an environment that is not conducive to learning, an environment that is occupational wise unhealthy, and basically the the point is, because the teachers are cooperating, it looks as if everybody is feeling a kind of relax on that. No, it is going 3 years now, and do not be surprised, our teachers are fed up. So when you hear their voices in that tone, I believe we need action, which is speedy action, to get these public schools back up to par. We cannot continue to tolerate that.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Small businesses are just too big to be ignored. When I ran the second time for the Chamber of Commerce board election, this was actually my slogan I came up with. And the last time that I looked at the registry at the Chamber, we had approximately 88% of our entire economy is made up of small businesses. It actually was 87.7%. That is a lot. That tells you how powerful small businesses is to our economy. And let me just move on one time. St. Martin economy runs on small business. That's period. The only issue is that small businesses don't get the respect they deserve. It's a fact. The impact of entrepreneurs. I mentioned this freely just now, but I'll go into it again. Back in the 80s and 90s, the majority of business owners were all locals. Our customer service was second to none. Again, it's for that reason we got the slogan, the Friendly Island. Again, I'm not sure what happened throughout the years, but today, locals are employees and working in an establishment that the property was once owned by their family members. That is something that, ladies and gentlemen, we have to sit back and actually think about. How did we get here? So now, how do we get back to business? Meaning, people getting back to business, how do we get our own people back in business? First thing you have to do is listen to your customers and listen to stakeholders. There's a reason I clearly put this here is because this goes for small businesses, but it also goes to us as a country. Listen to your customers. And the next point I put here, solve a problem. Photogums, you've solved the problem. Meaning, we needed picture taken at that time like that. Now you actually shift your business model to digital, keeping up with the trend. But in other words, solving a problem. Computech, the same thing. PJ82, the same thing. Try to solve a problem. Okay, thanks. So as the former executive director of the Chamber of Commerce, during one of my trips to, I think, this one was Mexico, where we actually attended the Florida Cruise Conference, Florida Cruise Conference there. This is some of the positive message that, that they keep echoing at various conferences. St. Martin is the example of how to rebuild after a hurricane. For one, what we did very well, quick cleanup and opening of roads. We did that within a couple weeks. Having water and light within 2 weeks. Organizing garbage collection, meaning we actually designated areas to put the garbage. Designation of different beaches to take the cruise tourists there when they started to come. And lastly, quick reopening of businesses, namely restaurants, grocery stores, shops, just to give residents and visitors alike the comfort or the feel of normalcy. Anyone can remember the feeling you got when you heard of the first cruise ship coming back to St. Martin, or when the first aircraft with actually passengers landing at Princess Juliana International Airport. Could you remember that feeling it gave you after being, should I say, without that traffic for about two or 3 months? When that first aircraft landed, it was, yes, we get him back. But again, it was actually the people of St. Martin who did not give up hope and who knew that all we have to do was do our homework, meaning clean up your place, get ready, and they will come. And the good part about it is I must give kudos to the government at that time. They actually organized a strong delegation which traveled to various areas. Mexico, Puerto Rico was the next one. Where else did we go to? We went to a couple areas where the goal was actually to inform the world that St. Martin is open for business.
Make use of Web Mobile Banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
I had conversation as the replacing Minister of TIAT. I had conversations with the harbor and with the port, and they were informing me about the different procedures that they have in place, and that they are training and updating the personnel on a regular basis. Also, they are in close touch with airlines on how it is they're going to minimize the impact of importing this virus on the island. According to information received, they are stating that basically on the ships, they have different pamphlets, they have different designated persons who will be providing information to the passengers on the cruise ship, and to continue using or applying basically hand sanitizer, proper hygienic procedures to avoid it from spreading. So on the cruise lines and also on the airplanes, that is being done. The last information that I received was that we are requesting also cooperation from the radio stations for when we have to basically give out information, not to use it as a source to create income, extra income, but if it's possible that we can get the cooperation when it comes to disseminating the information of the virus, that this can be done free of charge as it is for the public well-being. We have conversations with Telem, and Telem had already agreed to do this free of charge. The CPS, which is a department from Ministry of VSA, is constantly informing the public via the medias of the Daily Herald and also on the site from the St. Martin government site on what are the daily updated news, factual news about the coronavirus. So we advise everyone to just follow the government website in order for them to be on an informative basis and being informed on the latest update when it comes to the coronavirus. Fake news can always be verified with CPS and with the government itself. Of course, the website is stmartingov.org, and the Facebook page is SXM Gov, where you can get additional information.
Just a brief update. Last week, I had the honor to attend a meeting that was organized by Sea Shepherd, which they brought different stakeholders into one room, and the topic was to protect the sea turtles and different means as to how we can protect the sea turtles. It was stakeholders from both sides, from the French side and the Dutch side. So there were persons from the policy department from the VROMI ministry. Also present were the gendarmerie from the French side and some other NGOs which are looking as to how we can reduce the unnecessary killing and the well-being of the turtles. So I had the honor of that, and I hope that continues as well, as to certain solutions, as to what we can do as to when it comes to pollution. Plastic is one of the main concerns as well. And also the speed limit that we need to restrict in the lagoon for the vessels, as a lot of the turtles are being killed by the vessels speeding well in the lagoon. I'm happy to announce that as of yesterday, a technical workshop was organized by the NRPB in collaboration with VROMI and the World Bank. It started yesterday and it should conclude by tomorrow, Thursday, the 30th of January. The main topic is the civil works and also the landfill and how to proceed from there. As you know, on Monday we were able to finally receive a bulldozer from the trust fund, which will be used on the landfill. But due to certain technicalities, the bulldozer is not allowed to be used for civil works. So those are some of the challenges we are facing right now when it comes to the usage of equipment and what is allowed. So therefore, these fruitful conversations which is taking place from yesterday and ending on Thursday, we're hoping to have a positive result as to the landfill has enhanced over the time as well. And the Ministry of Romy has worked diligently and reprofiled the landfill, and it is not what it used to be in the past. So we have come a long way as that is concerned. And I'm hoping that by next week I'll have a positive update as to how these meetings ended and the way forward with that. I would also like to announce that the ministry is also looking into restarting the road works, the patching of the roads, and due to the heavy rainfall, we are noticing that a lot more potholes are popping up, and the ones that were smaller are now increasing in size. So that is also a priority for myself, that we commence this in timely fashion. I know there's conversations already in place with Windward Roads NV and the ministry as to the scheduling of these works. As soon these are finalized, I will also update you on this. Lastly, I was updated this morning that NVGBE is expecting one shipment of the street lights to come in as early as next week. This is just one of the shipments, so that way we can start to see some more street lights being fixed and lighting up these concerned areas. And as I was told by the Minister of Justice earlier this week as well, safety concern is the top priority, and the more districts we can light up, the better for the community as well.
Black History Month is around the corner. In the pre-presentation of the activities for 2020, I think because the library was closed for a while last year, between December 2018 and March, that wasn't really tabled. But we are having that discussion now to also present at least 2 to 4 programs for Black History Month. The discussion I also had with some of the staff this morning, that one of the things that I would like to see the library doing is to establish those relationships with all those different groups and organizations on the island who are also doing programs related to reading, related to development. Because it is a small island, and if you know anything of me, I believe in collaboration. I believe in people doing things together. Because once we start working together, the people understands that this is a joint effort to improve them. And in terms of the staff at the library, one of the things I discussed with the board over the next 2-3 years, how do we work on courses and trainings to even equip our current staff better with knowledge and skills to even produce better. And once the building is finished, and in between there, we're going to look at who we need also to move us forward. My hope is that between now and 3 years, we can get the government and everybody to understand that, listen, we do need to move out of that space because it's really too small. In terms of working with the schools also, the other day we had some children from Psycho 1, which is the lower level, came and to get a visit to the library, to renew their membership and all of that. But in terms of offering a good program, it's just too small. So it's not that they're not interested. So we need to work on the space. We need to work on upgrading our staff, not to the point that what they're doing is not of good quality. We also need to work on improving the automation, increasing the number of e-books. We're going to be having a grace period in February also, from the 3rd until the 15th. And my staff tell me to make sure the people understand that that's in the name of love and care for them, that we want to get back our books. Because one of the things the board is asking us, they need an inventory. We need an inventory because that is tied to our subsidy. So if we don't know what we have in house in terms of physical books, in terms of resources, etc., we cannot justify the subsidy we are getting. And a lot of times when people stay from the outside, it's always easy for you to say nothing is happening. But there's a lot happening at the library. We just have to know how to structure it, that it don't coincide, that the crowd comes in at a certain time.